Welcome back to Kim Nonstop channel. Today I am building a bike. In fact, I'm getting some help building a bike. This is Winnie, my main bike mechanic, and Fred back there is gonna show me how to take the plastic plate off the new bike. So the bike I'm building today is the Liv Brava, size extra small, but not small enough for her, only small enough for me. It is a cyclocross bike. I am building it straight out of the box. We just pried the box open and we pulled the frame and two wheels out. The seat post is still inside. This is how the bike comes shipped directly to you. Seat post and saddle. And this is how it comes to you. And now we are going to put it together. As you can see, the box makes for a great 9-year-old's jungle gym after you remove all parts. Budget babysitter. So there it is. That is the 2020 Liv Brava. Comes in a black and gold colorway, which is pretty stealth and cool. Very excited. So now we're gonna build the whole thing. So from the looks of it, we just have to put the handlebars on, wheels on, seat post, seat clamp, and then the rear derailleur needs to be adjusted so that or attached, which is where I will definitely need Fred's help. I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to rear derailleurs, and then might need a little help on the brakes. We will see. Easiest part of the assembly. So this is what my seat clamp situation is gonna look like. This is the top.
Slide that in with the seat post.
With the seat post. Yep. Don't do it separately.
You can do it separately.
It's not gonna get like lost in there if I do it separately?
I would do it separately. I would put the seat post in first.
Seat post in first. Yeah. And then slide this along with it. Got it. That's quite easy, right? Yep. And then just tighten it down, because it could drop in there.
Yeah, I don't think that piece will actually drop in once the seat post is in.
Get your tool ready first. I don't know why, but I'm paranoid of it falling down in there. Okay. And then just tighten it down.
Yeah.
But if I want to raise the seat, is it going to move the seat post clamp?
No.
Okay. Seat post is in. Bars on. Seat post on. Next up, gonna attach, what do you call this? The brake
caliper.
Brake caliper, if we can find the bolts, he says.
These are SRAM Apex.
Hydraulic disc brakes on this bad boy. So Liv included all the parts in this handy dandy little parts bag. And we got the bolts going through, attaching to the fork right now. And Liv also included zip ties so that we can zip tie the cable. There's these little nachos. This is still jiggling a little bit.
So leave it a little loose so when you're centering the rotor, you can tighten it down once the caliper is centered on the rotor. And then you don't get any rub on the disc.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then you just pull that little tab out, because that prevents what happened to my Liv Langma when I was moving. If you guys haven't seen that, it's how to fix your brake pads with a butter knife. And she's almost built. When I was building my first cross bike, this had me totally stumped. I didn't actually know what the through axle. I thought they forgot to include my skewers. So this time I know what they do. Put it in the hole. There it is.
So this piece of cable was holding the derailleur in place in the biggest rear cog. So just gonna insert the derailleur cable into the derailleur and tighten it down.
So you're setting the high and low now?
Yeah, so just making sure that the derailleur only goes to the outside gear and then to the smallest gear.
Okay. How do you do that?
So you've got your high and low, probably getting these backwards, but this one controls how
you're gonna
far
find
outward.
Out, you mean?
Yeah, well, no, I'm telling you, right? And so.
Oh, you're saying
yeah,
I'm probably gonna get them backwards?
No,
Is that
no,
what you're
I'm saying I'm getting them backwards.
All right, so how, okay. And
I don't know, it's like high and low. I believe this is considered high. I might be getting my terminology wrong.
Oh, the terminology.
Yeah, but
that one's considered big ring or little ring?
So yeah, this is the biggest cog. This control screw controls how far towards the spokes the derailleur travels.
This one does.
This screw. This one right there. That one.
Towards
the spokes.
And
this one goes towards the derailleur.
Oh wait,
hanger.
that one goes. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So we're setting that and making sure that.
Well, it kind of makes sense because if it's like the left screw controls how far it goes to the left, the way you're looking at it. There you go. Yeah. Very, very smart.
Yeah, they're smarter than I am.
Our system that we thought was so smart was actually backwards. Damn it. So counterintuitive. It's not what you think. Screw that's on the left side controls how far your bike goes away from the spokes.
And usually, some derailleurs actually come labeled with an H and an L.
Oh, really?
So you can see what's high, what's low.
Oh.
This particular one, not
labeled. The Live Brava comes with 2 bottles of sealant and a valve core removal tool, which is actually this little tiny baby thing. I figured out how to use it. You just drop it through that little hole, the valve core. I'll show you in a second. Turn it and it gets the valve core out. So we're gonna go ahead and put the sealant in. It's already pre-measured. These are 2 ounces each bottle, and it comes with 2 bottles. So you're gonna empty the entire bottle into each tire. This bad boy doesn't look like a normal valve core removal tool, but it is. Slide this on, and then once you get it to this part of the valve, then you turn it to lefty-loosey. It'll take the valve core out. Well, once it's loose, you can just do it by hand too. So now the valve core is out, and I'm gonna go ahead and drop the sealant in and then put the valve core back in. So you insert this little nipple into the open valve, squeeze the entire contents into the tire. It's going very easily. Glug, 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 empty it all out. And I'm gonna take the valve core, put it back in, turn it to the right, and now you just pump it up with air, and that's it. I got 45 PSI in there, and then I'm just giving it a spin to get the sealant to move through and kind of make its way all around the tire. You don't want to let your wheels sit for too long after you put sealant on them. You want to take your bike for a ride and really get that sealant to move around, and then you have to top it off like every couple months. So that's just something to know about. Sealant in your tire. It says max PSI on these is 75, so I have it at 45 right now. I'm just gonna leave it there. And now I'm just gonna take care of the front one. Slide it on, loosen it, and then take it out, and fingers. Oh yeah, way easier. They say that this is a really, really messy process, but I gotta say so far with this little kit that Liv gave me, that this is as messy as it's gotten. Squeeze all of it into the tire. Now stick the valve core back in, turn it to the right, and tighten it down and give it a good spin. And just let it go through. I'm gonna take the bike for a ride right now, so I'll be able to move all that sealant around. And that's it. Now she's ready to ride. Obviously, when I take her for a real ride, I'll be swapping out these pedals, but right now I'm just going to the pool. And we have a fully built bike. Riding the new Live Brava straight out the box with no changes made to it. Had a little shifting glitches, but thank goodness Paola was with me from LA Cyclery because she knows what she's doing. And a little bit of barrel adjuster tweak and it's working. And we've been having a really nice, albeit very hot and steep ride in the Verdugos. But it's beautiful out here. It doesn't feel like Los Angeles anymore. Not a bad ride for a stock bike straight out the box. Thank you, Liv. Can't wait to race it this season.